On behalf of HDIN Research, we are pleased to present our strategic and financial deep dive into Prisemi's 2025 evolution. This report deconstructs the company's recent performance through the lens of the Harvard Financial Analytical Framework, focusing on its transition from a pure-play fabless designer to an integrated fab-light powerhouse. We begin with Part 1, the strategic landscape. To understand Prisemi's trajectory, we must first look at the broader macro environment and the shifting dynamics of the domestic semiconductor market. The situation is defined by a global recovery cycle. Despite short-term volatility, the Chinese market remains a dominant force, with domestic sales projected to exceed $180 billion. The critical driver here is the localization wave, where domestic little giants are increasingly displacing international incumbents in high-growth verticals like automotive and new energy. Our SWOT analysis reveals a company with a robust technical moat in protection devices, TVS, but one that faces a high revenue concentration in consumer electronics. The strategic pivot to a fab-light model represents a significant opportunity to mitigate manufacturing constraints while addressing threats from intensifying domestic price competition. In the competitive landscape, Prisemi occupies a, quote, Tier 1 specialized position. While it may lack the massive scale of global giants like TI or Infineon, it maintains a dominant position among domestic peers due to its high-end technology moat in low-voltage protection and Sargent MOSFETs. Moving to Part 2, we examine the operational results. This section addresses the, quote, complication in our narrative, the apparent decoupling of revenue growth from net profit. At first glance, the 4.9% dip in net profit might seem concerning. However, a deeper look at the core business reveals 17.5% growth in core profits. The variance is primarily attributed to a decrease in non-recurring financial income, essentially lower interest yields on the company's cash reserves, rather than a decline in operational health. This chart visualizes that decoupling. While total profit fluctuated, the core profitability trajectory remains consistently upward. This confirms that Prisemi's products are maintaining their value and competitiveness in the market. Product-wise, power devices continue to contribute over 91% of revenue. A key highlight is the Power IC segment. While smaller in volume, it saw a significant margin expansion of nearly 11.5%, driven by high-value OVP and DC-DC products. Currently, 65% of revenue still stems from consumer electronics. However, management is actively rebalancing the portfolio. The goal is a 50-50 split between consumer and high-reliability sectors like automotive and industrial by 2027. In Part 3, we apply the Harvard Financial Framework to assess the quality of the company's balance sheet and its operational efficiency. Our DuPont analysis shows a slight compression in ROE, largely due to the massive cash accumulation on the balance sheet, which dilutes the equity base. Gross margins remain healthy at 32.8%, despite the pricing pressure inherent in the consumer segment. Prisemi's balance sheet is effectively a, quote, fortress. With nearly 2 billion Chinese yuan in financial assets and almost zero debt, the company's Altman Z-score is exceptionally high. This provides the, quote, dry powder necessary for the M&A activities we will discuss shortly. Part 4 addresses the question, is Prisemi's technology leadership sustainable in a rapidly evolving market? The company is successfully evolving from simple protection components to complex power platforms. Their deep trench isolation and charge balance MOSFET technologies are now meeting the specifications required to compete with international Tier 1 players in the automotive space. R&D efficiency remains high. Despite a slight accounting-related dip in reported spending, the actual output, over 160 new products launched in 2025, demonstrates an agile innovation engine fueled by a highly educated R&D workforce. The roadmap for the next 18 months is aggressive. We expect to see full-suite automotive-grade qualification, AEC-Q 101, and the integration of high-power IGBTs, which will be critical for the new energy vehicle market. Part 5 provides the answer to our strategic inquiry, the transition to a fab-light model. The acquisition of Xunlei and Jishun is a game-changer. By bringing wafer fabrication and testing in-house, Prisemi is moving from a design-only model to one that controls its own supply chain. This is expected to improve yield management and accelerate entry into automotive channels. These new capabilities will support growth in 3 key areas: automotive electronics, photovoltaic storage, and AI computing. Specifically, the Sargent MOSFETs are seeing increased demand in AI server power supplies. Finally, we conclude with our outlook for 2026 and beyond. We anticipate a 15% revenue CAGR. Key catalysts include the surge in AI phones, which require double the protection density of standard smartphones, and the margin improvements expected as the Fab-Lite model matures. Third-generation semiconductors like GaN and SiC are also expected to begin contributing meaningful revenue. Thank you for your attention. This analysis was prepared by HDIN Research. For deeper market insights or customized reports, please contact us at sales@hdinresearch.com.